Concrete Genius Pod, man. Welcome to the Concrete Genius Podcast. It's the greatest of greatest, all greats. Sauce MacKenzie, man. Follow me on all socials at Concrete Genius Pod. I appreciate you, man, tapping in with your boy, man. Let's get right to it, right? Had some great conversations in the barbershop, man, with an elder lady, a couple of OGs, man, talking about the state of black people. And they were just overwhelmingly gracious with their time and their knowledge. We just talking about black history, Indianapolis history, and it made me just come in here on some different energy today just about my people, right? Black people, right? I think we got to understand how changes in society have put us in a position we're in and how we've allowed that to continue. So hear me out. As black people, we understand that the initial change, we know our history, right? If you don't know your history, you know slavery, Jim Crow, Reconstruction, the removal of Reconstruction, right? We built up our own communities, Rosewood, Tulsa. It's always been destroyed whenever we tried to make progress after already being behind. See, the rich always use the toothless, ignorant whites to blame the Negro, right? If you ask a lot of poor whites that's racist, they'll blame a black man or a Mexican for their problems. When in reality, 200 years ago, your grandfather had way more opportunities than mine, so you actually just come from a bloodline of imbeciles. But the white elite, the 1%, has always used the rage of the village idiot white to hate black people. That's why when you see a racist get arrested, they need a GoFundMe, right? If you need a GoFundMe to get out of jail, you probably shouldn't be racist. But I digress. So I'm going to start with the interstate highways. Everybody knows, and most people use an interstate highway in America, right? It has become a source of normalcy and convenience. But if you really took a look to stop and study most highways that I've ever seen in any part of America, I don't care if it's Atlanta with 75, I don't care if it's Gary, Indianapolis is 65, and Louisville and Nashville and Birmingham with I-65. I don't care if it's I-70 from all across the country. I don't care if it's I-40. I don't care if it's I-95. I don't care if it's I-10, I-5, you go west. And for those that don't know, the numbering system starts, any odd number goes north and south on the highway. So that way, if you know you're traveling on an interstate highway and the sign is red, white, and blue, and the number has a 5, that means you're going north to south. Now, the numbers start on the left coast and they get bigger as you go across the country east. That's why LA is Highway 5. And then you get to Vegas, it's Highway 15. And then you get to Dallas, it's Highway 35. And then you get to Chicago, it's Highway 55, 65 in Indiana, 75 in Detroit, 85 in Atlanta, 95 in New York. So if nobody's ever explained that to you, thanks Sauce MacKenzie for explaining to you how the number highway system works. Same way going from south to north. If you're on a highway and it ends in an even number, that means you're going east and west. And it starts at the southern parts of the country. That's why you got Highway 10 from LA all the way over to Pensacola. Then you got 20 in Atlanta. Then you got 30. Then you got 40, right? And then so you got 70. You got 80, 90. So the further north you go, the higher the number goes on the highway. So I just want to explain that to you. But what really happens is when the highways were constructed, the highways always looked to move and destroy black communities because they didn't value the black community. And these are communities that we built up through struggle and sacrifice. People were neighbors. People were friends. We could walk through our communities. It were businesses. We owned our homes. Our teachers knew our students. Our students lived next door to their teachers. It was a community. The highways divided that, right? Right around the same time of the highways, now you get the Federal Housing Association. So you get and I'm not sure exactly which one came first, but they were both around the same time. I think the projects came first, but whatever, we had all these projects built that were advertised to us as great, safe places to live, shared living, cheap living. So you get all these people coming from the South to get away from the prevalent racism in the South. You get to Chicago, you get to New York, they put you in all these stacked apartments, right? That's experiment one. And then whatever valuable communities there were in the black community, in every city, a highway was built through it. I don't care if you're talking Atlanta, Chicago, New York, D.C., Baltimore. If you see a highway, it ran through a black community and it destroyed a community. So these are all efforts compounded to destroy the morale and the economic generational wealth base that Black people were trying to build. Because now that house that you would have bought from grandma, you would have inherited, that's probably would be worth $700,000 now. Your grandma probably got $10,000 for when they moved her out. So that's the tragedy in itself right there. And those highway systems were the beginning of Black people being displaced from their communities. You know what I'm saying? Before the highways, we had a sense of unity. We had a sense of bonding. We had a sense of closeness, togetherness. We were able to reach each other in appropriate places that would allow us to have a community, have us to protect each other, right? We had our teachers. Most teachers taught your mother, or most teachers taught your big sisters. Your teachers would go to the same baker as your mom. Your teachers would go to the same butcher. We had Black butchers. We had Black watchmakers, tailors, bankers, independent doctors, dentists. We had all that. And these highways looked to destroy those things. After the highways were destroyed, right, you still had the rise of the civil rights movement. You know, the Montgomery bus boycott. You had educated Black men whose parents had survived Reconstruction, guys like Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. You know, now Malcolm X wasn't college educated, but he was a brilliant man. He taught himself in prison. These guys came along and they were the catalyst for another source of Black pride, the civil rights movement, eliminate separate but equal, allow us to be human citizens. And that started the integration movement. When in turn, we should have just somehow maybe gotten resources to survive separately, but that's another story. And as these leaders came along, and as the turbulent 60s came along, you had the rise of more militancy, the Black Panthers, other movements that were involved in teaching us how to love one another, food programs, breakfast programs, clothing programs, not selling drugs, seeing your brother as a man, cleaning yourself up. See, any program that can't be compromised will be destroyed. And that's what happened to the Panthers. It started infiltrating it. The notoriously evil J. Edgar Hoover started infiltrating the Black Panthers, called them the biggest threat to society. Meanwhile, the Klan has killed thousands, right? So they started infiltrating the Black Panthers and destroyed it from inside out, destroyed our leaders, destroyed our movement, started spreading misinformation, dissension, and things fell apart. Now, here's where it gets real. After the 60s, meetings were had, conversations were had with government leaders. A lot of people decided that the best way to stop from having more revolutionaries was to destroy the structure of the Black family. And that's the removal of the Black man from the home. What's the quickest way to emasculate a man? That's to make him feel like his value is only measured in currency, not his strength, not his leadership, not his guidance, not his ability to protect anything. His strength is only valued in currency. They only did that to Black men. So therefore, they gave women an alternative. Hey, we can give you government assistance, but he can't live here. Now, our women didn't know no better. They sold out for the quick buck. At the time, it didn't really affect us drastically because we still had trades in school. We still had mill jobs, it was places that Black men could go straight out of high school, get a decent job, and be owning a house in 2 years. Steel was a big industry. So steel and aluminum plants, especially in the Midwest, gave Black men opportunities to do jobs and earn a decent living and provide for their families. But Black men who were going through hard times and the families may have needed assistance, the government specifically stated that you can't gain any assistance with a man in the home. So instead of saying, we're going to help families, it's saying you got to decide to keep your family unit together struggling like James Evans, or you got to get out. And then we'll cut her a check. But you can't be here. Where's a man supposed to go? If a man falls on hard times and he's injured, he can't get disability, or he in between jobs, where is he supposed to go? So the government started villainizing Black men who weren't supremely stable enough to pay all our bills. Now, a lot of Black men were. A lot of Black men had jobs in mills, trades, barbers. We were a plethora of things to make money. But that was the seed to the divisiveness that we see today between men and women. And Black women, we love y'all, just like I know y'all love us. And a lot of the feelings of distrust that we feel were planted by people who never want to see us prosper or unite. Now, with those things happening, another big shift happened. They decided to start busing black students to what they deemed better schools. But what they really did was pull the rug on the confidence and the legacy education side for young black men and women. See, we as black people were better off when we predominantly had teachers that looked like us. I mean, it's just it is what it is. Like, people hate hearing these things, and they take it as a blanket indictment on all white people, or blanket, I'm not racist, I got black. Listen, you might, if you're not racist, good, you shouldn't be. But if it bothers you to talk about actual racism that happened to black people, you're probably racist. Who said feel guilty? But if you didn't do it and you not racist, why are you guilty of the truth? And the truth was, busing helped destroy the cultural values of the black community, right? You had to fight really hard to maintain your black identity if they busting you to go to school where they don't even want you there. I've talked to black people in Indianapolis say, I got bused to Decatur Central in the 80s and they was having Klan marches across the street. Do you know what that would do to me in high school to witness a Klan march? I would be so vigilant to, like, why are you trying to fucking scare me from getting an education? So while those Klanmen are marching across the street, their sisters, their wives, their nieces, their neighbors are going to teach you how to do arithmetic. They're going to teach you your history. They're going to teach you to have some pride in yourself. Are they going to teach you anything? Of course they not. They not even going to allow your growth to learn maybe how to behave or learn how to mature. You get no grace. You got no grace. Yeah, and don't tell me about your one sympathetic white teacher. God bless Miss Johnson, right? She's a sweetheart. It's always a few in a bunch. Don't sit up here and tell me if you got bust in the 70s or 80s or even 90s that you didn't have white people that didn't give a fuck about you in your school. And so what that did was it started a schism between blacks who were getting cultural enrichment, like myself. I'm from Gary, Indiana, and then blacks who thought, I gotta behave how these white people tell me how I should behave. And that's where you get the house nigga, Uncle Tom nigga from, because they started telling you that, no, you go to this white school, you're better than them. Oh, you have white teachers, you're better than them. Oh, we don't use slang here, you're better than them. We don't dance in the hallways, we're better than them. I moved into Indianapolis in 2000, right? It was no cultural identity at none of the township schools, right? And so for me, that was mind-blowing to see so many legions of black children have no black leadership. And this was in the 2000s. So can you imagine being bussed in the 70s and 80s? Man, I feel that shit would have pissed me off. And so now, as a black person, you getting bussed 20, 30 minutes from your home from some people that don't want to teach you, don't like you. You got to go to school with a bunch of people who don't like you. So now the black people got to click up to protect each other and be on the defensive. You know, I know people who went to school in the 90s and had to walk home on the south side, and they went past a certain street and they had to fight grown white men walking home in the 80s and 90s. So let's stop this utopia of, oh man, now we always got along. That's bullshit. Y'all got along where they let y'all live, right? Because of busing. And this ain't just an Indianapolis thing. I'm just using examples we were discussing, but this happens all across the country. Busing destroyed black education. Busing, and even more than black education, it destroyed black cultural education. That's why you got so many black people who don't know who they are. They don't know their history. They don't know about the civil rights movement. They don't know about the March on Selma. They don't know about Medgar Evers. They know nothing. They absolutely know nothing. Definitely know Malcolm X. Now I read the biography of Malcolm X in the 7th grade. Like, because a teacher told me to. Like, that was the difference. Like, all the leadership I saw growing up was black. So even if I made mistakes, I've always been raised and educated by people who loved me and wanted me to believe in myself. And if you didn't love me, I didn't have to worry about it being racism. And no child should have to deal with that, period, right? So busing destroyed us. And then once they start getting a couple of Negro running backs at the white school, oh shit, it was cool. They started that O.J. Simpson early with them township niggas. Oh, we gonna bust you to Ben Davis, nigga. We gonna bust you out here. You gonna be the star running back, but you got to get you a white woman. That's what busing did, man. It destroyed the values that we had amongst each other. Before busing, black people had a silent pact amongst each other how to treat each other. We just did. And once they started putting us in separate schools, it got worse. You know, and we didn't get better. Yes, your boy Big Sauce. Get a copy of my book, The Game Changer. I know I'm dropping heavy jewels, but it is what it is. So yeah, we started busting, pushed us out, and then here comes the oh, you sneaky devil, you Ronald Reagan, you son of a gun. Here's the crack. Just mysterious crack in neighborhoods, black neighborhoods. You know, when I was a kid, right, I just posted on Facebook. Shout out to my nigga, his Screwface. He reminded me. Because I had made a post, I'm like, damn, when I was a kid and I would go to Chicago and kick it, right, they would always like have times, maybe 3 times a year, where, and in Gary in the Bronx, 2-3 times a year where trains would just stop and you open them and it's just guns, a crate full of guns. Right? Where the fuck are you taking these guns? And why is this train stopping right here in this black neighborhood? Because they want us to kill each other. And so then the crack came. So when the crack came and the trades left, see, when I was in high school, well, yeah, you could learn how to be a plumber. You could learn HVAC. You could come out a carpenter apprentice with experience. You can damn near take your culinary shit. You can go to barber. You could become a barber when you was in high school. Like, we had so many opportunities. Girls was getting out of high school as hairdressers. Like, we had so many opportunities. And once they pulled the opportunities, and then they shot us to crack, right? They shot us to crack. And crack was the first time in my life I could see a nigga that didn't have 50 cent Monday, and by Saturday he got a Cadillac. Never seen nothing like it. It's if you wasn't there, I can't explain it, but the temptation is stronger than anything you can even imagine today, right? Because we didn't have internet. Like, we didn't have nothing to say, oh, I'm flexing on you. We really saw dudes who were dirt poor buy an 8-ball Monday and stay on the block all day, and then by Thursday be buying a Regal and be riding down the street with the paper tags. And you like, damn, I just seen this nigga on a bus. This nigga owed me $5. Like, the ability to change your fortunes was too tempting to not take advantage of. And when I talk about the crack era, right? Just in case anybody got Uncle Tom syndrome because you was bused to a white school, or any racist may be watching this for a comment. Let's not act like black people are the only people who sold drugs or sold drugs to their people, right? Asians sell drugs, Hispanic, Mexicans sell drugs, and whites definitely sell drugs. If whites didn't sell drugs, it would be no mafia, right? Italians sell drugs, Russians sell drugs. So let's not make this a black thing, right? White people, Hispanics, all races and ethnicities have criminals that participate in criminal activities. It only gets glorified when you black. Because the other races need to feel better about their degenerates by highlighting black degeneracy. Like, if you want to know how somebody racist, and you see them always posting about black people and I'm tired and black fatigue, and the fatigue is real, and they never post no white violence, no white people being arrested for pedophilia, no white teachers fucking they students, because you know white teachers can't keep their hands off them 15, 16-year-old white boys. If you don't get none of that, then I'm pretty sure the teacher's probably racist, right? But I digress. And so the drugs came. But before we get to the drugs, or let's go past the drugs, I want to talk about the fact that they took away parents' ability to beat these kids' fucking ass, right? When I was a kid, back in the 1900s, if you was messing up in school and your mama had to come off work, or she was at home watching the stories, God, for you definitely didn't want nobody call your father. But if your mama had to come up to that school, she was going to beat your ass in front of the entire classroom, because she wanted to let them know that this nigga can do shit, but he's going to understand his consequences. It's a very important word. Remember the word consequences. And I'm not saying it wasn't no bad niggas born in the 70s and 80s, niggas who were serial killers and psychos and niggas who had bad tempers. But the difference is we got our ass whooped. So if we decided to do any type of criminal activity, we decided to break the law, we decided to bother anybody, we decided to get in a shootout or start gangbanging, we understood consequences because the adults in our life from the civil rights movement beat our motherfucking asses. So ass whooping may not deter somebody from behavioral issues, but kids who got their ass whooped understand consequences exponentially better than kids who don't. And you able to adjust to the consequences because you understand I did something, I got caught, I'm punished. That's what a whooping was. A whooping wasn't to demean you or now some people have some sick parents, the kids beat the shit out their kids. That's kids turned into bullying, that's fucked up. That's a different conversation. I'm talking about good black parents who only whooped your ass if you deserve it. Man, that built character. Kids were a lot more respectful to adults when we was getting our ass whooped. Don't shoot the messenger. Back in my day, if you told your mom I'm calling them people, she'd be like, call them motherfuckers. Tell them to come get you. Get the fuck on. You want to leave? You trust them? Get the fuck on. That parenting made me a fucking man, bro. That allowed me to hold my fucking nuts and not have to be no fucking groupie or no flunky. I didn't have to do nothing to feel like a man. I didn't have to get my ass kicked to feel confident. I ain't have to be no simp because my mom told me straight life. You want to do it, call them motherfuckers and see how they feel about you. Because I feed you because I love you. And I take care of you because I love you and buy you shit for Christmas. But if you can't get your shit right here, call them. That shit make you a man, man. Your mom coming up to the school, eating your ass in front of your friends, makes you decide, do I really want to be funny today? That's why wasn't none of us illiterate. How is it in 2025, with more technology, a supposedly smarter society, kids are dumb as shit? I'm talking about even the kids that you think good kids can't read out loud for 30 seconds. How is that? Because it wasn't no more focused learning. God forbid I start talking about all the Ritalin and the Prozac and the medication they start putting you niggas on, turning you niggas into zombies. Now the zombie niggas got teenage kids. The first wave of Prozac niggas got teenage kids. Kids fucked up. They can't learn, they can't pay attention, they can't sit still because they never got their ass whooped. And when I say get your ass whooped, I don't mean punch the nigga. I mean, this is what you do. This will get you on punishment. Because it was some shit you could do, just get you put on punishment. Hey, man, what you do, man? I was supposed to clean up, man. Come outside. I can't come outside for 3 days. I'm on punishment. That trained your mind for consequences. Now, it was some shit that if you did, you got a whooping. What you do, man? I start a little grease fire and shit. Mom beat my motherfucking ass. I won't start another grease fire, right? Because that ain't worth the consequence, right? So even if you grow up bad and you was getting your ass whooped, the most violent, wildest niggas of my generation was yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You can invite a killer in your motherfucking crib. He's still going, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, ma'am. Do you need me to help with the dishes? Now, we got outside, we going to shoot the fuck out each other. But in this house, I'm going to respect your mom, your grandma, everybody else, right? We was different kind of gangsters. Nah, man, you ain't breaking in nobody's house on my street, man. Get your ass on with that shit. Nah, bro, don't say nothing to her, man. That old lady don't bother nobody, man. I'll fuck you up. We don't got that no more. Because they took the father out the home. They took away the ass whoop. And this is the part here, too, right? Niggas can't read. They took away books, right? They took away teaching methods. They changed teaching methods. We started listening to every other ethnicity of people that started coming in after pimping the shit out of black folks on the civil rights movement. And this is one more thing, too, and I'm going to get into the school shit. I'm so sick of all you ethnic movements. I don't care what you fighting for. Good luck. I don't care if it's the Asian movement, the Hispanic movement, the African movement, the LGBTQIA movement. Stop basing your shit off of black people. We are so fucking tired of y'all copying us after we got to struggle through some shit. We lose lives and family members to fight for survival and start movements. And then here come Asian Lives Matter. And then here come Gay Lives Matter. And then here come Trans Lives Matter. And then here come White Lives Matter. And then here come All Lives Matter. Well, goddamn, can we have any fucking thing? Do y'all have any fucking originality? We can't do shit. We say we won't because we alert and we smart to the systematic things that we have to survive to exist every day. And you motherfuckers take it and make it a negative turn. I couldn't imagine how y'all was stealing from niggas in the 1900s. How many inventions are legitimately probably made by black people that got robbed of? You had to be a bad black motherfucker, Louis Latimer, you type of motherfucker. You had to be a genius for a white man not to steal your shit. For you to say, man, you got to be Garrett Morrison, you make the stoplight. You had to be so advanced that a white man was too stupid to steal it. Because we can't do shit without another race taking a piece. We ain't got hip-hop to ourselves. We ain't got our music. We ain't got our neighborhoods. We can't do shit style of dress. can't do nothing. So we bust our ass in the sick, and every movement now is Latino power. Like, bro, like, come on, god damn, bro. Like, we give passionate speeches. Now y'all try to get up there and try to get the same type of passionate speech. Like, bro, like everybody is pimping Black Americans, man. You African niggas, y'all come over here and y'all, akata, you have no culture. Nigga, you can't trace your shit back 100 years, man. Y'all done lived in 7 villages in 45 years, man. Leave us the fuck alone, bro. You calling us slaves, but you niggas is swimming in goddamn on front doors trying to get over here, nigga. You niggas is playing Russian roulette with Jaws to try to live in the slums in America. So how the fuck you gonna get over here and talk about us, man? We don't got nothing against no fucking body. We just want to be left the fuck alone. That's all. Sorry about that. But yeah, man, with the kids, right? They took away our ability to discipline them. They took away their ability to be socially skilled, right? They took away their ability to have a cultural identity. So now most kids going to mixed middle schools. So now you ain't got no Black teachers. You ain't seeing no Black teachers. You're not reading books. You getting a tablet at 2 years old. All these kids can scroll. How many of them can read? Now we get to the program. You know, when I was a kid, man, you see a cartoon, it's Bugs Bunny, it's Woody Woodpecker. Hey, like it's funny shit. Droopy, Tom and Jerry. It was strategic, funny cartoons. How is Jerry gonna fuck with Tom today? What's going on with Sam Droopy? What's going on with Woody Woodpecker? Bugs Bunny, Spectrum Man, Mighty Mouse. Shit that was strong and symbolic, nigga. Justice League, Superman, Super Friends, you know? Batman. Like, niggas who solve shit. Hand-to-hand combat. Now, SpongeBob's Mary and Patrick, nigga. We got cartoons telling your kid, nigga, if you a little confused, maybe you born in the wrong body. They programming our kids now. That's why so many 300-pound niggas wearing halter tops. Because they programmed our kids, nigga. Any type of adversity, frustration, it's not for you to fight through. It's for you to change, and society's do you wrong, and bullying is wrong. So they fucked our kids up. Now our kids have no emotional intelligence, no emotional depth, no emotional resolve to fight through things. And unfortunately, that's why the transition rate is so high amongst kids of all races. Man, I got friends that work in schools, bro, in the suburbs. Very good friend of mine, I ain't gonna say her name. It's kids at white schools in Indianapolis right now, nigga, that identify as dogs, that crawl around all day. And you gotta be sensitive to this little motherfucking identifying as a dog, right? Now, I don't know about y'all, but 30 years ago, a good white man, a kid would have came there and said, Daddy, I want to be Lassie. He would have smacked the shit out of him, probably killed him. But he'd have beat his motherfucking ass. Now you can't even tell your kid, no, you stupid motherfucker, you ain't no dog. They'll try to take him. Damn, if you live in California, they gonna take the nigga and buy the nigga a leash. So you gotta be careful. I'm framing it as a Black problem, but it's really a societal problem. They've weakened the ability of parents to discipline kids, and now these kids run rapid because they don't know how to deal with anger. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know how to deal with frustrations. So now you then took the Black man out the household. You then bust all the teenagers to predominantly white schools. They ain't had Black teachers. They don't know cultural enrichment. You then drop crack in the Black community. You then, how could I forget about Bill Clinton? You put out Bill Clinton and Uncle Joe. Man, we miss Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe called you niggas animals. So yeah, I don't care what you think about the administration. This ain't politics, but before you niggas get up here and start tapping and buck dancing for Uncle Joe called you Black niggas animals. Bill Clinton. How can you pass a law that say 5 grams of crack is equal to 500 grams of powder cocaine? You know why? Because at the time, white people weren't smoking crack, dealing crack. They was smoking it. They was dealing cocaine. But niggas was cooking it, getting that quick, fast money, becoming chemists. So they said, oh, too many niggas got it. Too many niggas getting rich. Let's balance the laws. It is nowhere on earth. 5 grams of crack at most is $150. 500 grams of powder is going to be at least $10,000. So how in the fuck is the nigga that got $150 trying to break the law more of a violent, more of a criminal than the motherfucker that got $10,000 trying to break the law? Because one of them is white or Hispanic or some other fucking nationality, And then the other one is predominantly black or poor. That's how it happens. That's how it happens. So Bill Clinton, Uncle Bill, Uncle Joe passed these fucking racist ass laws. So that led to even more mass incarceration. That led to more mass incarceration because niggas was getting mandatory sentencing for $150 worth of drugs in the feds. But yet motherfuckers getting caught with a quarter brick of powder. You know what? It ain't fair yet. 3 years probation. I know niggas, man. I was locked up with niggas that had a life sentence, nigga, for a gram of crack. Who was usually likely to have crack? Niggas, right? And I'm gonna tell you one more thing, too. White folks didn't give a fuck about drug addicts until motherfucking white people started dying from fentanyl. They ain't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Dead junkies I seen. Didn't give a fuck. Oh, man, DOA was murder homicide. Oh, he probably took a hot shot. That's what the motherfuckers say. You see a motherfucker OD back in the day, nigga, I don't care if it was from heroin. I don't care if it was from motherfucking crack, nigga. That shit was, it was 90% poor people, black and Hispanics. So if you white and poor, they call you nigga light. So you right there with the niggas, they just call you collateral damage. Man, motherfuckers used to die every day smoking crack, nigga. Niggas have heart attacks. You sell a nigga a .3, nigga. Nigga blow, you be like, what happened, man? Dude, I saw that shit. Oh, that nigga blew his chest out. That nigga dead. Damn. That nigga owe me $100. That's how this shit used to go, nigga. The police didn't even look for you if a junkie died, nigga. They didn't give a fuck who sold it to him. They just looked at it as one dead, poor-ass motherfucker, probably a nigga, probably a Hispanic. Let's roll this nigga up. Let's clear this shit out. I got shit to do. And them little whites started buying fentanyl. When them suburban white kids start getting hooked on heroin. Because they don't give a fuck about the poor motherfuckers. You go to Kensington, Philadelphia, they don't give a fuck if one of them die. But once little Timmy from the suburbs, whose dad was a principal and city councilman, once that stupid motherfucker started dying, now it's, you know what? What kind of animal would sell this to a 27-year-old man? So now they start coming for the drug dealers. Drug game been dead. Back in my day, I ain't give a fuck who you see. If you didn't get caught with it, then you wasn't a drug dealer. Like, nigga, it didn't matter if 8 motherfuckers died from it. Then nobody give a fuck. So now it's, oh my God, we got to punish the sellers too. So if you know the game is different, right? For blacks and whites, right? You know the rules ain't the same, my G. At some point, we got to adjust, right? That's my thinking. It's just like basketball. I'm going to put in an analogy for you niggas. If we go play basketball and we say we go, say we go to Karma, right? And they cheating. And the ref's white, a couple of them, you see them hate you, and then the other one's scared to go against the ones that hate you. So you just getting fucked, right? Every call, you just travel, foul. You can be mad, or you can adjust. You know what? I'm going to sag off this nigga. He trash. He can't shoot. All right, force him left. All right, wall him up. And then adjust and still beat them motherfuckers. That's what you got to do in society right now. So you got to adjust. Everything I said that used to be done in the old days, you got to do that shit for your kids. You got to read to your kids. Teach your kids how to read. Teach your kids how to count money. Teach your kids how to be emotionally stable. Teach your kids their history. Teach your kids black culture. Let your kids see home ownership. Let your kids see a man in a home. You can't be no sorry, nigga. Go get you, try to have some type of structure, nigga. Go get you some money. But let your kids see a man in a home. Let your kids see their mom cooking dinner. Let your kids be in the house with their aunts who's 60 and 70. Let the kids have a relationship with their grandparents. Single moms, maintain a relationship with the dad's side of the family. Don't let the fact that you ain't good with your baby daddy send this kid's life in a downward spiral. It can happen, right? So I hope you take this lesson to heart. I hope you take this message and this podcast to heart, because I love you, right? If you're watching it, I love you. And if you're watching this and you from other races, learn about us, because I want to learn about y'all. It's not personal. But this pod was for black people, and y'all needed to hear this, man. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. Of course, I can't go without saying welcome back, Bron James. We appreciate you. It's been an honor to watch you play basketball, but not just play basketball, for the way you conducted yourself, for the way you built a legacy for your family, for the way you built a legacy for your friend group, for the way you took a chance of being villainized for speaking out what you felt may have been injustices, Trayvon Martin, police brutality, whatever you felt to speak on. I'm glad you took the liberty to exercise that right from your position. Because a lot of athletes in your position, they get a white woman and they shut the fuck up because they don't want to fuck it up. You know what I mean? But you were one of the first black athletes, in my opinion, since Ali, that was the best of this sport and didn't give a fuck about how something looked in the mainstream. And that's why they hate you. Oh, and I got one more theory too. I feel like if you look at Bron, you look at Russell Westbrook, right? You look at Russell Wilson, right? You look at Jalen Hurts, right? Study it. But I'm telling you, the media criticizes black athletes that's married to black women harder than they do black athletes that's married to non-black. Man, listen, sometimes the hardest part about racism is being honest about it, right? You can't tell me, right, that LeBron doesn't get treated worse than niggas who commit crimes, doesn't get treated worse who's caught up in FanDuel scandal. And it's so psychologically, that's why a lot of niggas hate him. See, the most revolutionary thing you can do as a rich man is love a black woman and start a black family. And that's going to draw hate from people that don't even know why they hate you. That's why Russell Westbrook, even at playing at a high level today, people been telling him he out the league for 5 years. People been burying Russell Wilson since he was in Seattle. And that nigga is the most unproblematic nigga in the world. But he got Sierra. That's with a jealousy. Jalen Hurts, all black team, black women, strong black man, quiet, doesn't hurt a fly. All you've been reading this week is these Philadelphia Liberty Bell fucking idiots talking about how he ain't playing satisfactory. I'm telling you, it's something there. It's something there. Like, I know for a fact I'd have been respected better if I had a white wife in Indianapolis, because niggas damn near treat niggas with white wives like they got a purple heart. And that's them niggas that got bused to school. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of niggas that got bused to school on the internet hating LeBron James. I love to know the percentage of niggas that hate Bron that had a black principal. I don't even want to argue LeBron James' legacy unless you went to a school system that I know that was predominantly black. I debate Bron with you if you're from Chicago or Gary, Houston somewhere maybe. But nigga, if you went to school with Sister Marquez your whole life, nigga, you was the only black in the picture, nigga, I don't want to talk. If your motherfucking wife ain't black, nigga, I don't want to debate LeBron James with you, nigga. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't had black principal, black teacher, nigga, and you ain't married to a black woman, you ain't qualified to debate LeBron with me, nigga, as a black man. And if you're not black, unless you just speaking fact, now if you can be any race and we could talk basketball facts and debate, stuff like that. I'm not racist at all. Like I'm more relied on intelligence. But if you white, I hear any racistness, or if you non-black and I hear any racistness in your discussion about LeBron, I don't have to justify a conversation with you. Who the fuck are you? Like, I'm gonna walk in the room with my energy anyway. I'm the source of the melanin, source of the interest. It's like the sun. We gonna draw you foreigners and you non-blacks to us, whether we minding our business. That's why a black girl could be somewhere making a video minding her business, and somebody white, what you doing? Why this ain't for this? Because you can't leave us the fuck alone. We can. 99% of the black people I know, for all y'all try to make us out to be villains and criminals and shit, when we walk in the room, we see in the room, seeing who might be a threat. And once we see we gonna see how many black people in there. But we can be in a sea of white people and don't give a fuck. We just don't care. So Concrete Genius Pod, man, I love y'all. Get a copy of my book, The Game Changer. It's me, I'm him, and that's a wrap. Get the book, heathen. And shout out to the young niggas, man, with the quarter zips, Cubs hat. You know what I'm saying? And last but not least, shout out to you young men that's rocking the quarter zip thing, man. Whatever the trend is, it's flies viral. I like it. I appreciate y'all. But to you section of bitter battle axe, leave these young niggas alone. These young niggas are not the reason you gotta take the trash out to that raggedy ass dumpster at 3 a.m. These young niggas are not the reason you live in a FEMA shelter apartment with a police light. These young niggas are not the reason your baseboards are dirty and you got mold under your sink. Stop making videos criticizing young black men when they doing something positive. Now, I seen a couple of y'all wigs, a couple of y'all look African, Caribbean and shit. So I don't give a fuck about y'all. But if you a black American woman and you criticizing these kids, shame on you. Shame on you. Uncle Tamisha.